Hi there. Figure I'd do a one season review of my Mitas 754 green stripe rear tire and C19 yellow front. Mitas has now changed the name of these tires to Terra something or other. I'll put it in the text when I'm editing this, but at any rate, there's a side profile. Back profile. I'll get measurements of these a little bit later. They're starting to chunk in a couple of spots, and the rear tire has not two plugs in it now. I'm running tubeless in it, but I got a cut somewhere in the center and I got a cut on the side, so I got those plugged. The C19s, same amount of hours. I'll list those out here shortly. You can see the sides are starting to go, but nowhere as bad as Shinko's, or you can kind of see that back one here going as well. But I do have a new tire coming for the front. I got one in the back already in the garage. But so these tires, as of today, and it's getting into late October, and we already had snow in the mountains once. So not quite stud season yet, but we're getting there. But anyways, this is typically what we ride here at McLean. Loads of rocks. There is soft stuff like this, but it's not super loamy. Lots of roots and fairly technical terrain. So these now have 100 hours on them, possibly more. Again, I'll put it in the link. And to tell you the truth, I am going to switch the rear tire out for next season. I may actually keep running that front because there's honestly nothing wrong with it. Again, I'll do some quick measurements and I'll meet back up with you guys in the garage when I get the tires in front of me. And once this thing's a little bit cleaner, and we can have a closer look at that tire and the front tire. All right, so back in the garage, bike is clean. Tires, front, rear are here. I also went ahead and did some maths as promised. I may have lied in the woods. I actually looked at my maintenance log, and I have 70 hours on those tires. Not 100, 70. But here's the current tread depth on the front. Tread depth of a new front tire. So in 70 hours on the front, I use 16% of the tire. Rear is a little bit different. 9.38 currently on the used tire, 16.24 for a brand new one, with a combined use of 42%. So let's have a quick look at the front here. Here's a brand new one. Here's the old one. Not that much difference, except maybe for these being a little bit more eroded. And then obviously some of these starting to chunk. But there's not actually that many that are doing this. The only thing I really notice is how much stiffer the old rubber is, which kind of makes sense. I mean, these sit in the garage over the winter time when the studded tires are on. So, you know, a new tire would definitely feel better. So I think, mostly because I'm lazy and I'm cheap, this is actually going to stay on till next season. And once the sides really go away, because that's where I'm going to start noticing it, where the tire is going to start folding into the trail and, you know, coming out from underneath me, that's when this is going to go out. But I don't see why this shouldn't easily get to 100 hours. So let's go have a look at the back tire. There's the back tire. And, oh man, I'm going to give you guys a little intermission here while I peel this away. All right, here's the new name, the Terra Force EX XT. I don't know what the hell was wrong with 765 green stripe, but there you go. Okay. New tire was about, I want to say $10 more than the old one. So if you hold them side by side, you can obviously see how much rounded off the rear is. The side knobs, there's very few. I'll get this out of the way. That are starting to chunk. And they're actually quite supple still. So this is the single green stripe. Here's my first plug. That's holding nicely. And there's a second plug in here somewhere. Where'd it go? There it is right there. And that's holding nicely too, actually. It's got about 3 or 4 PSI. But what you'll notice is these are basically starting to break away. So some funky stuff going on here. So I think this one here, I might do the same exercise with this one, where I am going to try to get 100 hours out of this tire. Again, mostly because I'm cheap, and to see if I can actually make this tire last 100 hours. But again, this is probably going to look like a dog's breakfast at 100 hours. Because like I said, 42% of this tire is gone in comparison to this tire. So yeah, overall, for the terrain that we ride, these tires are excellent. A couple of the guys are going with a slightly harder front. I'm not really sure how that would work as far as grip. These tires are extremely predictable. The only time I had issues with this one is when I was on a slight off-camber trail, and it was extremely dry, and the front end just washed out without any notice whatsoever. Otherwise, over rocks like Revelstoke, BC is extremely rocky, lots of slab, loamy kind of terrain. No problems there with those tires. Here in Alberta, again, no issues. And we have a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, shitload of logs, and anything in between. So yeah, I want to say I'm on my 3rd, 4th set of these. I've ran the Shinkos before. They were okay. The fronts had a tendency to chunk really badly on the edge knobs at around probably less than 40 hours. And the rears wore quite quickly, and they were the super gummy ones. But again, you'd probably expect that, maybe 40, 50 hours out of that tire. So yeah, I'll do a follow-up review on see if these last 100 hours. And again, I do have spare rims for the winter tires. So these basically come off. Discs go onto the winter rims. And then in the springtime, these get bolted right back on. So if it ain't broke, I'm not going to fix it.